Good morning or afternoon. Make sure you have out a pencil, your Phantom Tollbooth book, your workbook, and make sure you have your headphones on. Today's learning goal is that you're going to be able to understand how writers use wordplay to develop a story's plot. So first, we need to know the word jump to conclusions. What is jump to conclusions? It's to judge or decide something without having all the facts, to make an opinion about something without having enough information. For example, it's wrong to jump to conclusions about new people until you get to know them. Let's not jump to conclusions about how the window broke. We need to look at the facts would be another example. It is a figure of speech, or the part of speech is figurative language. So, jump to conclusions is kind of like an idiom, and what idioms are phrases or expressions that have hidden meanings. The expressions don't mean exactly what the words say. For example, you need a taste of your own medicine. You didn't create medicine yourself that you're going to taste. I heard it through a grapevine. Can a grapevine really talk to you? No, it means you heard it through other people, not the direct source. Miss Gardner will tie the knot in December. Is she actually going to tie a knot? No, she's getting married, and they call getting married tie the knot. Would you put a sock in it? That expression means to be quiet. They don't actually want you to put a sock in your mouth. So now we're going to try a few. Billy was not very good at keeping secrets. It wasn't very long until he let the cat out of the bag. What does the idiom "let the cat out of the bag" mean? Does it mean to lose a pet cat, to reveal a secret, to clean out a litter box, or to get cat toys out of a grocery bag? Let's try another one. Let's work on our project together, Annie said. After all, 2 heads are better than 1. What does the idiom 2 heads are better than 1 mean? A person with 2 heads is smarter. People would be better if they shared a body. Working together can achieve more than working alone. It's hard to work with a partner. John and Jeremy are the best of friends. They go everywhere together, like the same games and even dress similar. They are 2 peas in a pod. What does the idiom 2 peas in a pod mean? To not like eating carrots? To be at the same table at lunch? To be alike? To love the kind of salad with peas in it? Alright, so what are some idioms we see in Phantom Tollbooth that plays with their literal and figurative meanings? At the royal banquet, Milo didn't realize he was literally going to have to eat his words when he gave a speech. Jester also plays with the idiom killing time in chapter 2. When Milo tells Talk he was killing time, Talk gets very upset since time is so precious to him. Can you find the idiom in Phantom Tollbooth? So now we're going to do New Read Assessment 2. And you're going to have a Google form, and you'll get that from the document from Google Classroom. Go to the classroom stream, and you'll see it. But first, you need to listen to all the directions. You're going to need to read the rest of Chapter 13, starting on page 164. Start at the line that says, "The shore was peaceful," and read to the end of the chapter. Now we're going to look at the directions. Alright. So for part 1, this is what you're going to do. This is what it's going to look like. Easy to test. You're going to read the rest of chapter 13, beginning on page 164, the line, "The shore line was peaceful," to the end of the chapter, then answer the following questions. What is the setting? Describe the place and name an example of wordplay. Characters. Describe the characters and how the character's name is an example of wordplay. Action, problem. Briefly describe the action or events that happens in this episode, including the problem that Milo faces. Ending. Briefly describe the outcome of events in this episode including how the problem is solved. Nuggets of wisdom. What does Milo learn from this experience? What knowledge or understanding does he gain? How do you see change in Milo's thinking from the beginning to the end of story? That's all of part 1. Then you click next, And it's going to make sure you've put answers. That's why it's not letting me click next. So I'm going to move on to part 2. Part 2 says, make sure you read the directions. It's really important. Choose one of the 3 illustrations from this part of chapter 13. You can choose page 165, page 167, or page 169. Then complete the following short constructive response question about your chosen illustration. Be sure to support your responses with specific evidence from the illustration and the text. First, you're going to choose what illustration are you choosing to study and respond about. Then, describe what you see in the illustration that you chose. What does the illustration show? What line or lines from chapter 13 best capture what's going on in this illustration? Cite a quotation from chapter 13. Explain how this illustration supports and enriches your understanding of character, setting, and events in this part of chapter 13. How might your understanding of character, setting, or events be different without the illustration? Write in complete sentences, please. Then you'll click Next, and you'll go to Part 3. Part 3 doesn't have directions. Okay? So you're going to read the passage from page 166 that answers Part A and B. So you need to read this right here. I'm not going to read it aloud to you. Part A. How does this passage contribute to the overall structure of this episode? It describes the character that Milo, Tock, and Humbug meet. It describes the setting where the episode takes place. It shows the important change in Milo's thinking in the story. It shows Milo's feelings towards a new character he meets. Part B. Which detail from the passage supports the answer to Part A? It certainly couldn't be a nicer day, agreed Milo, who was too busy looking at the road. Too busy looking at the road to see that the others had gone. And in a split second, he was gone also. Instead of the palms and flowers, there were only rocks and twisted stumps of the long, dead trees. Pardon me, said Milo to the first man who hath been by. Can you tell me where I am? Then you'll read this passage right here from 168 and answers Part A and B. How does the passage contribute to the overall structure of the episode? It uses sensory language to help readers visualize characters. It provides a resolution to the overall problem in the episode. It shows how Canopy's name is a play on words. It reveals the wordplay involved on the island's name. Which detail best supports Part A? You're on the island of conclusions. Make yourself at home. You're apt to be here for some time. But how do we get here? Asked Milo, who was still puzzled by being there at all. Every time you decide something without having a good reason, you jump to conclusions. As he spoke, at least 8 or 9 more people sailed into the island from every direction. Which line from the story best represents a turning point for Milo's character at the novel? Oh dear, this is going to be difficult, Milo whispered to Tock. I wonder if we can help him. If everything you say is true, added Tock, then without a doubt, Milo concluded brightly, you must be Canopy. From now on, I'm going to have a very good reason before I make up my mind about anything. You can lose too much time by jumping to conclusions. I hope we reach Digiopolis soon, said Milo, thinking about the breakfast he hadn't eaten. I wonder how far it is. Once you make your choice, then you'll click Submit. So now, you're going to finish your new read assessment. Make sure you complete it on the Google form. Go back to Google Classroom, click Stream, and there, or click Classwork, and there you will see it under the classwork. It'll be a Google form.